Hey everyone, welcome to a new attempt at a live. This is live number 3 with two mediumly successful ones in the past, so let's see if we can do better. Try to find a bit more tips and improvements to make it work smoother. So now it's not road to master anymore, but road to top 100 because we reached master. We're top 108 I think right now. So let's see, we are player 4, which is, I mean, one of the worst positions to start with, but at least we have Baron and it will probably be our choice right there. Lito obviously is also one of my favorite, but I think when Baron is there, you have to take him. It's too powerful to leave to anyone else higher in the pecking order, let's say, in terms of start position. So let me have a quick look if the live is actually working. So it seems my live is not working. It's not receiving enough video. It seems it is working, thanks to my wife checking for me, so shout out to you for supporting me. And let's see if it works all the way, because I think in the past it was also working fine at the start and then started going a bit worse. Let's see, so let's try to focus a bit on the game. What do we have here? Yuna and Armand. Yuna starting actually with some Solari. So let's see, maybe if we're lucky enough we could go to smuggling, but I would expect Lito to go there first thing, or even Armand actually. Oh no, didn't change his mind in the end. At least that conflict is not one where I would have absolutely wanted to unlock my master stroke, so thankfully no regret about not having any faction access here. But let's see. And very positive is we have smuggling here, so this is really interesting for us, I think, overall. It is quite helpful to go to smuggling, ideally twice at the very start, early rounds, let's say, to be able to unlock that Swordmaster as early as possible. And that's one of the bad things in being fourth, is about not having access to smuggling early enough to make it happen. So Yuna with the tech negotiation probably didn't have much else to play. And what are we doing with? Probably with the signet ring, to be honest. But we don't have that much choice actually. It's either Imperial Bastion or Arrakeen. I mean, it would be okay to draw a card. Worst case, we probably will draw Seek Allies as usually. As usual, the card we really don't want to draw is the one we will end up drawing regardless. But let's do it and let's see what that brings us. We might still want to commit 2 troops in there. Yeah, it's sick allies obviously. Try to unjinx it by saying it, but apparently it's just a universal truth. Alright. What did Armand actually play as a second card? So he didn't play any daggers, so I would assume he probably has at least 1 dagger. Let's just send in 1 troop. We might be able to beat Leto there, but we don't want to overcommit in that kind of low value conflict. So getting 1 spice out of it wouldn't be the best, but we might just get those 2 if Leto doesn't have any dagger, and if he does have just 1, we at least prevent him from getting 2 as well. So I think it's not a high cost to pay just 1 troop for it. Firm grip is a good call. I think with 4 we would probably go now with landing rights. I think I would also have gone for a firm grip, to be honest. But between Imperial Bashar, landing rights, it's probably about landing rights rather. So Armand even had 2 daggers, so I think it's good that we didn't send in 2 troops. And indeed, Leto only has 1, so we come mess with him a bit. Oh, Lady Jessica. Just waiting a second to bluff a bit, as if we had a combat card. Yeah, this combat is probably good enough for us to send in our Hardy Warriors, play to trigger the Master Stroke. Although we might want to prioritize smuggling if it's not taken now by Leto. Yeah, I think we probably want to do that first. But now do we actually want to recall it? Maybe not actually. Let's actually go 1 up there. Just to be able to also trigger the uptick with the Spacing Guild here, which would lead us to level 2 after our Master Stroke kicks in. And we should be able to do it next round, assuming Leto again does not really bother about that smuggling space. And otherwise we might have landing rights as well just to do it. So with those 2 options in mind, I think it was a safe bet to just go up here, especially given Armand anyways has level 2 here. So if he sees us going for it early next round, he would have anyways gone to interstellar shipping first thing. I don't think we would have a way of getting there before him anyways. So we can delay a bit on that side. And we don't have enough to recall and get the Swordmaster anyways. We would be 2 Solari short. So it's not of highest priority. Now seems like a good moment to do our Hardy Warriors play. thinking of maybe delaying it a bit more, but I think next round we kind of have our priorities set already, ideally, between recalling here, getting the Swordmaster hopefully. So I think it's best to trigger it now to get it behind us. Hopefully Yuna triggers her Signet ability. That would give us a strong chance of actually having our Swordmaster before her next round. Otherwise it might be delayed to round 4. No, she doesn't trigger the Signet ability, so she's certainly gonna have her Swordmaster before us, given we will need to trigger that recall on the shipping track. Oh, that's a Lady Jessica for Lito, and he's probably taking that track as well, so that's bad news for Armand, who won't be able to use it next round, most likely. It's also a bit bad news for us, because he's the player right before us, so he'll have access to interstellar shipping 3 times out of 4 before us. So it's obviously not the greatest, but I mean, it's just part of the game. Gene manipulation. I mean, I like the voice as well, but the trashing ability obviously is something I favor, especially early game. The shifting allegiances here, that would definitely be something we have our eyes on as well. Interesting, Yuna favoring Imperial Bashar. Strange play. So we have the Menta now as well. And we have urgent mission, so quite some flexibility in terms of agent turns. So for sure we recall, but how do we recall? Do we want to recall with Dune to smuggling? Or we could also use landing rides. We have 3 agents regardless. Probably Yuna will take her Swordmaster, so 3 would be it. Probably want to play Seek Allies and Signet Ring on the side. The third one. Keeping landing rights could make sense because it has more persuasion. And this actually gives us 1 additional Solari, which we might need to trigger Signet ability and still have enough Solari for Swordmaster and anything else we might want to do after that. So we will still take it with the Spacing Guild because next round we will be first, so we could use interstellar shipping if we want to. Yeah, Swordmaster as expected. What are we doing next? We could do Seek allies to still suits maybe, getting a bit closer to an alliance and sending in maybe 2 troops. I think it's something I don't hate. Let's do it. What is actually... it is a convincing argument, so maybe signaturing to Arakin could also be a nice move for us to at least get something interesting from that Imperium roll. But let's see that next round. I mean, it might not be available by then, but I want to see. I mean, we are anyways not going to be first to reveal, so I expect that Imperium row to change a bit, depending on what Leto buys, obviously, but I would expect him to take at least one of those 3 interesting cards that we see there, probably even 2. Yeah, Armand getting spice rich, and that's a bit of an understatement. He could buy technically anything in the tech row right now. Probably has his eyes on, I would assume, shuttle fleet, but training drones maybe as well. So yeah, that's... oh, and a guild bankers now. That is quite something. I think we go for first place here. It's not a victory point, but it is quite interesting. I like the 2 intrigue cards, the little bump in influence somewhere. Could actually even use landing rights here. Would still leave us with 3 persuasion to buy something interesting here. Based on what we have here, there are 3 cards that I would be strongly interested in. And that would give us a little bump here. We could actually rob that alliance from Armand with that bump if we win, plus an interstellar shipping next round. So I kind of like that. I think we're going to go for that right now. And let's see, I mean, we could still do an urgent mission if we want next turn. But for now, let's fight with what we have and assume we're going to reveal next turn. It will obviously depend on what Yuna is doing now and what Armand is revealing in terms of conflict, but if we look like we should be winning it, although Armand has an intrigue card, but discounting that, if it looks like we're winning it, I'm probably gonna keep urgent mission maybe for something a bit more productive than just allowing us to play the signet ring. Although if, yeah, card tag seems to be open, and I'm thinking right now, it's basically playing one intrigue card to get two intrigue cards out. We would get two here as well though, so it's a bit of an overload. We could still play that, so that would mean four. And we are first to play next round, so it's not that big of a risk, as long as one of those four can be played as a plot card. So it could be a funny play. Not sure we win it though. I mean, we are leading in terms of strength by 2, assuming we play the dagger. But let's actually play that. I like it. And we could actually even go to Arakin instead, if we want to mix our deck as is, but I don't think so. We have quite some good cards here between Signet, Landing Right, whatever we will draw next. Oh, but wait, playing the Signet means we will have only 2. No, let's actually not then. Just thinking. Because 3 is quite interesting. I think I want that the voice and the Chome Delegate, and too bad for the Guild Bankers, because it's also a very good card, but right now I feel like this brings more to us early game, because it really increases the quality of our deck by adding 2 much better cards than our starting deck. So let's see. And even with recalling, I would probably have gone to card tag, but I would probably not have sent in that troop, given we should be winning. And if if Armand has an intrigue card, a combat card, he would probably beat us even with that troop, or match us. So I think I prefer not playing it. Yeah, Guild Banker's gone. Did actually Yuna take some persuasion at the start of the game? She took firm grip. Oh, and she's close to the alliance there, because that gives you 4 persuasion. So obviously quite an interesting synergy with the Guild Bankers. Let's just hope she's not drawing them at the same time, or at least not too often. So yeah, let's do that play we were mentioning before. We can take that alliance right before Armand, given we're first player now. So that's something I really don't mind. And let's play obviously an intrigue card. Thankfully we have a yellow access here. Otherwise, our whole plan would have been for nothing. And let's take the spies just to make sure that Armand is not too close to a Swordmaster before us. And that also gives us a nice amount of Solari. Just enough for Swordmaster and High Council. And if we can do both this round, I wouldn't mind. I kinda like using the rounds before 7 to try and get it done with the political spaces, the Landsraad access. Because those are obviously not combat oriented at all, but they provide you with significant advantage for later, especially Dreadnought for combat, High Council for Spiceman's Flow, Swordmaster, I mean, you don't need to explain what the Swordmaster does in terms of advantage. But yeah, all of that, ideally you get it done before round 7. So doing both right now would be a good idea, I think. So he has not given up on that alliance. Yeah, he could go to Hayliner. If he does, well, good for him. It gave us Solari and didn't cost us much in terms of agents movements. We anyways wanted to go to shipping. It's just about maybe having used that bump a bit better. But him, I think it costs him more to go to full space right now. And the Hayliner round 4, if he does it, well, then can't do anything to counter it. but I think it's a bit of an overkill at this stage of the game to go to Hayliner. So that's our third agent. And our next agent, I would like to play Gene Manipulation to trash a dagger, and probably going to High Council could be a good plan if it's not something either of our opponents is doing now. Or, I mean, a Dreadnought would not be that bad neither. What do we have here? Training drones? We could pick it up actually. It's not that bad when you get it early enough. Right now we would basically be able to use it around 5, 6, 7, so basically 3 troops before the money rounds. So it could be something we might want to do. But yeah, for sure using Gene Manipulation to trash a dagger, that would mean we basically have 2 persuasion left. Unless we go to High Council, in which case we would have 4. Probably picking up the Guild Ambassador, in which case we will probably give up on that alliance. So we have our choice here between High Council and Dreadnought. And I'm not entirely sure what I'd prefer right now. Maybe a Dreadnought, actually. What do we have in our next hand here? We will have 5 out of those 8 cards. Yeah, let's pick up a Dreadnought to make use of that. I mean, to buy that tech and make use of it starting this round. Otherwise, it becomes less and less valuable to buy it. And to be honest, next round I'll probably not have even considered anymore. But right now, I think I like the play. Let's just take it and use it, because we anyways won't be able to send anything in the conflict right now. Oh, we could actually even recall the agent and use the dagger to go back to Dreadnought, just to have both right now already. It's quite an unusual play, I've never seen that before, but in the end we don't need that dagger anyways, because we're not involved in the conflict, and it spends 1 card for somehow something useful. Not sure how useful though, because I mean with this card can in the end allow to potentially steal an alliance back, or yeah, maybe get something more productive done. But then again, we have 0 faction access actually, except diplomacy, which is here by default. We don't have any faction access. Yeah, so maybe we keep urgent mission and use it for maybe a double shipping play at some point. Could make sense. Wait, how did he already get the ambassador? He just bought it before. Oh, but yeah, he paid the 2 spies, so he got it. He got it as first card on top of his deck, and he just drew it. Makes sense. Fair enough. Okay, no, let's not do the urgent mission. And here, should we try the Protectiva? Usually I don't like it, because it doesn't have really persuasion, but given our low faction accesses and the fact we still have 2 Bene Gesserit, let's maybe try it. Let's maybe go for it. Oh, in the shadows, that could be useful to us, but obviously wouldn't stay until then. Yuna getting an easy point there. I mean, she still committed quite some troops, so thankfully it was not that cheap for her. But it was still not really contested. We might want to consider going slowly for these kind of points as well, because they're very, very valuable at the end of the game. They can make all the difference. I think Hardened Warriors, if it's open, could make sense for us. Early statement with our Dreadnought and extra troops, getting the Alliance locked in there. And anyways, with Chom Delegate, we can always go to interstellar shipping, which I expect will be taken by probably Armand. We don't have any Landsrad access, so anyways, I mean right now we can't technically go to High Council anyways, but we might want to try to anticipate to get that done as well. Or maybe a Dreadnought actually, a second Dreadnought to get fully combat ready, because we have made some choices that were not really persuasion related, so our deck is obviously not really fully optimized, let's say, for a bunch of Spice Must Flow, but for sure we will be able to get one normally with Charisma. Yeah, we just need to get there at some point. So, let's do that play and let's go for that fight. Let's just go for it, making sure that normally no one else would be willing to contest us right now. And Armand actually even locked in the alliance. I've kind of missed that. When did he do that? Probably with Shuttlefleet, right? That seems to have been the case. Funnily enough, neither Armand nor Leto have gone for the Swordmaster yet. It's already quite late. But probably I would expect Leto to go now. Otherwise, for sure, one of them won't have it for round 7, which is a bit unusual. The only play where I see that potentially working is when Ilban actually just spams the, the Menta every round. Has happened that it still remains competitive even without the Swordmaster. But other than that, yes, Leto is going now, which I think makes sense. We're probably going to play the voice now. The question is, where do we play her? We could go for a water. I think I prefer that because card tag, obviously, there's nothing I really want to burn right now in terms of entry cards. Arakin, I kind of don't want to draw signaturing because it could be useful with that land spread access. Landing rights can also be useful. So I think just going for a water is safer. We won't deploy. Now the question is, what do they want to do to try and block maybe their next potential space? I don't see much. Maybe still suit just to make sure they cannot pick up any water for now, and Leto is not like tempted in climbing up a bit here. Otherwise I would have set card tag as well, just to try to mess with their potential to get in the conflict and get an intrigue card out of it. But I think let's do rather this play. I like it. And let's stay at 11. I mean, I think it's already a bit of an overkill, but at least we made sure that no one else was even trying to compete. Yeah, Yuna just getting involved for a hopeful second place. Leto might want to say something about that. Do we want to pick up an Arrakis liaison? Oh, we first play Chom Delegate, let's not early reveal, especially not for 3 persuasion. Oh, actually that's... But I think at this stage of the game it's already a bit too late to even try to go for it. Leto probably willing to take that second spot for himself for the combat, which makes sense. An entry card, Spice is not a bad reward. Yeah, that's exactly the combo I was thinking, between firm grip with the alliance giving her 4 persuasion by itself, the High Council giving you 6, and then the Guild Bankers. It's basically one free Spice must flow right there. Yes, so we reveal, and we might want still a liaison for now. Probably not a bad idea, in a view to get at least one Spice must flow out of our game here. a control troop. Always nice to get. Could maybe go for spy satellites if Armand is not going to the Great Flood. Could do Great Flood, then maybe a Dreadnought and picking up the spy satellites at the same time. Then we don't really need to bother about Bene Gesserit and Emperor row, unless we want, in which case we can just rush it against 3 spies for a victory point, which is also not the worst. I wouldn't mind actually going for that conflict as well. It's another victory point, obviously. And that would bring us actually quite close to having a road to endgame. In terms of remaining victory points, we have one easy here, one a bit more cumbersome here. One spice must flow at some point, which could actually be now. Could actually try to go for it now. With a signaturing to research station then instead of going for a Menta, Dreadnought. Not sure. But at least Dune to Great Flood, I think. So then that means no research station actually, but I think this 5 spice is a bit too good to leave there. And it would set up us nicely for a Dreadnought spy satellites, yeah. And then landing rights to one of our cities here. Oh, I don't like that. What is he even doing? That's very annoying. Why are they both like insisting on our alliances? That is very annoying. The thing is, we don't really have any access to go there. I mean, with the shipping here, we can go one up, but then it's not our turn anyways. It's gonna be Leto first, and there we only have one way of going, and it's diplomacy. So even that way, it's a bit tough for us. Yeah, I don't like that. Actually, what I don't like with the Dreadnought play is then I don't get to use my Signet ability. So I think we need to fight for that combat, yeah. Let's first things first go here anyways. I like that spice and we won't turn it down. And let us fight for this combat. No one has Hayliner money, so I think we can safely fight for it. I'm thinking maybe of keeping our spies and maybe using landing rights to go one up here actually, because then next round we could set up a play where we actually buy invasion ships and we can send all those 4 troops potentially in the combat thanks to expedite. So I don't hate that idea to compete basically for this conflict, getting another victory point and potentially, or hopefully should I say, 2 VPs from next combat. One VP from here, the Emperor. Ah, right, we actually have one more Solari now, thanks to Yuna visiting our spot here. So we could go to Dreadnought and activate the signet ring at the same time. Do we want to buy spy satellites though? Could be a play regardless, because spy satellites cost us 4, we have 1 spice left. Expedite uses that spice. If we went up here, no, we would be 1 spice short actually from triggering it and getting the invasion ships. But 1 spice short, we can still do something about it, so maybe we still take spy satellites. Kinda don't hate having a second dreadnought. And while we're there, I think a spy satellites. Yeah, let's take it. And let's take a 4th card here. Alright, not perfect. Yeah, for now, secret is taken, so I'll assume no one has infiltrate there. But we will need to play something here. Expedite I'm not a big fan, because then we lose that possibility for next round. Charisma, obviously not a big fan neither, because I want to keep it for a Spice Must Flow. Recalling an agent. The thing is, we only have two city access to play, so it would be a Siege Tower and the Carthag if both remain open. And Carthag gives us actually another intrigue card on top. Yeah, it's taken now. Yeah, that invasion ships plan I kinda like, but it might be a bit tough. Missing spies. We could just pick it up next round. So now we would definitely go to Siege Tower with landing rights, and both our ex-alliances are now fully locked in anyway, so we have no chance of even getting one back. But yeah, let's do it. I think I am on board with that plan. Let's try not to send our dreadnought in, at least. Let's have a look at what they do now, and we can actually do recalling our agent right before playing Reconnaissance back to Siege Tower, and that gives us 2 water, which will come in very handy for probably a research station for a well and long-awaited Spice Must Flow at some point in the near future. But next round we kinda hope for a yellow access to pick up some spice, to do that expedite plan, grabbing 2 spice here, picking it up for 2 spice less. So that means it costs basically 1 for that, and we need 1 to trigger it. So we are 1 spice short for that plan. But we can take it from either. Thankfully, Lito won't be in a position to mess with our plan here. Let's recall our siege tower guy and send him back right there. Yuna has 3 entry cards, but I don't think anything can happen, right? Famous last words. But she already had like 2, I think, last round. Didn't do anything about it. So I think we should be safe. We have a tiebreaker worst case as well. So let's try to be a bit greedy and optimizing on what we can do. So that's another Spice Must Flow without even using the guild bankers. It's not great. Let's hope there is no corner of the market behind that, because she would have unlocked already that VP and probably a second one. I don't think anyone else... No. Anyone else has 2 VPs yet with the Spice Must Flow? Definitely not. So we can reveal now. And I think we can be interested in that Shadows Bene Gesserit. So yes, next round, Expedite would probably be a good play to get that invasion ships, sending in all in. Hopefully it's a two victory point conflict, because that would be the one worth fighting for. No, that is not ideal for us. Although this gives us 3 Solarion reveal if we keep it. So we could maybe buy a second. Ah no, we need 6 with. I mean, if someone comes here, that brings us to 5. Yeah, let's see. It's really not the conflict I was hoping here. I was definitely just going for a 2 VP for free. Would have been better. Going for another alliance. Lito with the shifting allegiances is just naughty. Definitely some insane plays that can be done with that kind of combo. So, what are we doing then? I think going for that spice here and still triggering it could make sense. We could actually even block interstellar shipping for 1 round if we want to go there. I'm not sure we do, but yeah, let's do that because it can take a bit of time. So let's expedite. Take the spice. Yeah, we need to get going. Take the victory point with the Emperor. Buy invasion ships. Oh, that's so slow. Come on. Deploy as much as we can, I think. Yeah, maybe 1 less. And block a board space. What are we blocking then? Let's just block shipping. I didn't really know what to do there. Just to make sure that the AI does not play our charisma, because we kind of want to keep that one for a Spice Must Flow for sure. And it does not seem like it will be feasible this round. Next round could be. I like also the fact that we have 2 Bene Gesserit I mean the Missionara Protectiva next to the gene manipulation. That should give us this point. Yeah, we might want to go there actually with diplomacy to lock it in next round. And then it means we could then trash spy satellites for a point. Now I think what could be good actually is to really make sure we can at least buy 1 point here. And how do we do that? Maybe a CHOAM delegate to interstellar shipping, advanced recall to get 5 Solari. It's not what I prefer doing, but we might not really have a choice if we want to get it done. Oh, Armand is going for it. Oh, and he's an AI. Come on. Don't come and waste our moves. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we don't fully fight for it, because right now I'm not sure we can do both getting those resources and fully defending our lead here without hurting too much our chances at a conflict next round. And that puts our two human opponents, let's say, at a serious advantage. Yeah, so maybe we just go for that victory point, kinda don't get involved much more. And we do a CHOAM delegate to shipping. It's usually not the best place in round 7 and later, but right now we don't really want to get involved more in the conflict, so let's just... I think we can just do it. Maybe to pick up a Chomerky next round. That could be nice. Yeah, Armin going... I mean the AI basically going full in, I assume. So, research station for Leto probably means a victory point from a spice must flow, which we obviously don't really like that much. What is there for us to do? Picking up a water wouldn't be the worst plan, just to have two and hopefully a research station next round with maybe a Protectiva. But on the other hand, I'd also like to get that victory point at some point. We could actually get it with the Protectiva and that trigger here, that shipping track. So maybe we just go for it. Now, do we go with the liaison to Siege Tower? I think so, because we don't really need the influence anyways. Persuasion, sorry, and actually nor the influence, so none of the two. So I think we just do liaison to Siege Tower, picking up that water. Should we still fight for it? No, we don't even have any resources to buy additional points, so we can safely give up on that. And I mean, it's still annoying because only an AI would start fighting with you when you're already at 18. But yeah, the joke is it actually works, so it might teach us something in terms of not giving up even when a player already puts out so many troops. But in the end, it cost us less than a Hayliner. So it's not like we really sacrificed that much. And it gave us the invasion ships, which can maybe come in handy. At least we have the option of still potentially going to research station by maybe discarding something close to a dagger, just to not be constrained to the open spaces, but also potentially infiltrating if we need to. Okay, so this time Yuna didn't buy any Spice Mills Flow, which is good news. But Leto probably will. So we will be first player next round. I'd like to play Missionara Protectiva as a second Bene Gesserit, so probably Gene Manipulation as a first. Maybe we play Dune the Desert Planet before anything else. Yes, so we can reveal here with a grand total of 1 persuasion. We will then get a point here, so we should go to 7. Next conflict, hopefully, is a 2vp1, otherwise it's probably a bit of a lost game for us. It would be quite unlucky that out of the 4 conflicts, 50% of them are 2vps. And if none happen in the first 2, it's a bit unlucky. Should we actually... Yeah, no, actually it's worth nothing. He doesn't have enough to pay 1. So both first and second place are just worth 1 victory point. Yeah, no one has Hayliner money, so I think next round we are again in a good position to fight for the conflict. Is there something we want from the... Yeah, we could take troop transports. Ah, no, Chomerky. I think we want Chomerky. We have landing rights. That's actually... Could that actually make more sense? No one has water, so I think we're quite safe in hoping for a research station. So in that spirit, I think we keep landing rights for its 2 persuasion, and we play Dune first thing. It also allows us to actually get a troop transport. No, Chomerky. Chomerky. Or is it a Chomerky? Because troop transports actually sends us 3 troops in right there. So here we take that. We take the spice. Yeah, let's take Chomerky. Let's play with that. Quick. No, it will probably play Glimpse the Path as well. Oof. Seems actually, I think I understood. I think the animation does not necessarily continue the rope here, because even though we were at the very end, I still had time to do end turn. So it might give you a bit of an extra second or so when you play something, but it's nonetheless stressful. We might want to go with gene manipulation to Menta, actually. No, no. I think we want to go to Arakin. That locks it in for us. Research station is still quite safe for us next round. With the Protectiva, gives us that point. And hopefully enough. Yeah, we should have enough for a spice must flow. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, we already have 9 persuasion, we just play 1. So, I mean, there is a very, very slim chance we have 3 cards without any persuasion, but that would just be the worst case scenario. I don't want to calculate the probabilities because it's probably going to happen if we try to look into it too much, but a private army here actually can help us a lot as well. We have the 2 spies, so that's awesome. Tiebreaker worst case. I mean, we have Chomerky, so actually tiebreaker is useless in its endgame form, so we could use it as a combat card for sure. So here we get 1 point from this, 1 point hopefully from a spice must flow, brings us to 9. And if we fight for that combat and win it, yeah, it is a bit tight, especially if Yuna has a corner of the market. How many? Oops. Yeah, let's play first. Anyways, we want to do research station. Just 1 persuasion. Okay, we have it. Let's definitely not use Glimpse the Path, otherwise Private Army is as good as useless. And there's nothing anyways we really want to draw. So absolutely no use in using it. Yeah, I mean that game is very open, so it could go in any direction. Leto could have... I'm thinking in terms of endgame, so plans within plans wouldn't do anything for Leto, unless he's using his 2 remaining turns to get to 3 influence there. He's got 2 spice must flow, so as much as Yuna actually means right now, corner of the market is only worth 1 victory point for either, depending who has it, obviously. A Grand Conspiracy would work, so 4 plus persuasion. No, Yuna... Ah, well, that's a Chom shares, that's a bit of a more obvious victory point to get, but nonetheless a victory point. Ah, the AI better not mess with us again. What does it have in terms of tech again? Okay, at least nothing for the reveal turn in terms of daggers. Yuna has... Ah, Holtzman engine. Yeah, that will be activated, so she has at least 11 now, without even buying one right now, so probably 12. And we can go best case to 10, 11. So it is already quite compromised for the win. But let's see. Yeah, spice must flow. Let's just take a liaison for the troll. A bit of a healthy ad for my channel, and yeah, by the way, if you're having a watch right now, I'd really be thrilled if you could join our journey by subscribing, liking the video, and yeah, feel free to have a look if you're interested in some more Dune content. I'm trying to upload pretty much every day. Yeah, did someone actually mess with our troops right now? I think so, right? Well, I need to undo that filter. Double cross, yeah. So yeah, that's probably gonna happen. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you have a look, GG, really, Yuna and Lito, very nice plays. I enjoyed playing against you guys. And that armed AI messing up with me up to the very end, but we have what we need to get in front again. We could in the end play the tiebreaker as well, it doesn't matter given we have Chomerky, but just for, you know, like the little thrill of the end, seeing the end game card coming up, them not being sure, oh, does that mean victory point, and then seeing what it is and be like, oh no, it's okay, let's just keep it for that sake. Oh wait, we actually had spy satellites. So we should have trashed it. Ah, no, we didn't have enough spice, regardless. But yeah, and it would have meant losing that conflict if we didn't keep. Actually, we control all three places, so we need to put our dreadnought on a controlled space. Funny. Yeah, we won a lot of conflict, so it was a good game. Grand conspiracy for Leto. Does that mean a point? It does, but it won't be enough to overcome us, given we have Chomerky and an additional Tel spice. It's obviously useless, but still funny. So yeah. That was a very good game, ending up in second, so not too unhappy about that. Let's see what it does to our rank. Top, what is it, 112? Alright, so not that great. But we will continue and try to get to that top 100. Yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining, and see you soon for a next live next Sunday, and up to then just with my daily content, uploaded videos, shorts, everything is there, so feel free to drop by. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one. Bye bye.